Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at a McFarlane Toys Warhammer 40,000 or 40K blue guy. I think his name's over here. It is Ultramarines REIVER with bolt carbine, or carbine, depending on how you pronounce that. I know next to nothing about Warhammer. I know just the tiniest little bit, so I don't collect these things. Somebody sent this to me through Amazon, so I have no idea who sent it because there wasn't a little slip inside. So if you're the person who sent it, thanks. I'm assuming they sent it because they wanted me to review it, and so here it is. I've been told good things about this line from McFarlane Toys, but I haven't looked at it yet. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 19.5 centimeters. That's going to make him roughly, let's call it 7 3/4. That'll be close enough. Here he is up against Darwin. So he's a lot bigger, but I wouldn't say he's in a 7-inch scale, because these guys are in like really bulky armor. That's about 1/12 scale. So you guys can let me know. In fact, I believe their armor is, well, maybe not. I was going to say their armor is really, really bulky, but no, they'd still have to be like this size to fit in it anyway. It seems like 1/12 scale. I don't know if it's advertised anywhere. Let's take a quick gander. I don't think it's going to be. And it appears to not be. So you guys can let me know if you're into the whole Warhammer thing, if I'm right about that. All right, now it's worth noting this guy only costs 20 bucks. 20 bucks, and I'm guessing they do a lot of repainting from this line, but hey, you know who else does? Bum-ba-da-bum, $26, $27 Darwin's company does. Okay, so let's do a quick question of the day. Do you know anything about Warhammer? And if you don't, are you still buying the figures anyway because they look cool? All right, okay, let's dive into it. First things first, what paint is on here, though minimal, is done very, very nicely. This upside down Omega or Ohm sign, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's just like the ooh sound for Ultramarines. I don't know, but it's painted very nicely. This logo over here also painted very nicely. A little bit of distortion due to the shoulder pad, but still done really well. His chest grenades and chest emblem are actually separate pieces of plastic, so they're not painted, but that makes it look extra good because it's nice and clean. The gold trim around here, definitely clean enough. I think there's dry brushing in his torso, or it's just a really... All of these parts, all of these pouches and his torso look like they have gray dry brushing on top of black. Or I might be going crazy. It might just be a really dark gray with a wash. It looks like something's going on in there, and whether it's actually painted or it's just a really clever way of doing the mold work, it works. It's nice, okay? And then let's go ahead and look at the face, or the helmet of this guy. Definitely could use like a wash or something on the teeth, unless for some reason it's supposed to look like that. But all in all, it's painted pretty well. The little silver thingies aren't as clean as they could be. Eyes look nice. I would definitely throw some paint on there unless it's supposed to look unpainted. Little bit of coloring back here, not a whole lot of craziness going on. But I'd say for 20 bucks, it looks darn good. And the thing is like it's mostly blue plastic, so it does look very plasticky, but what is on there is done really well. And the plastic is a nice matte finish. And the sculpt is nice, so you could easily spruce this up with some dry brushing to do some weathering. Very easy to do. I would venture to say, if you've got fingers and a paintbrush and some silver paint, you could figure out how to do some dry brushed weathering around the edges of this armor. Or even over the whole thing if you wanted to, but that wouldn't look as good. Definitely look up some videos. I don't have any tutorial type videos on my channel, but they're all over the internet. Dry brush weathering, and I'm sure for 40K people, you guys could look that up for your miniatures easily. But yeah, the sculpt is nice, the paint is clean enough, it looks good enough that it doesn't really need more, but yeah, I would throw a wash on there, do some dry brushing, and you're set. So yeah, aesthetically speaking, for 20 bucks, 9 out of 10. Looks awesome. Very, very nicely done. Now, as far as accessories go, we get his gun, which is called the bolt carbine, and there's a hole going through the middle of the barrel. I don't know what's up with that. That's very strange. It doesn't seem to peg onto him anywhere. I don't know why that's there, but otherwise it's done well enough. That's okay, though he can't hold it properly. The hand sculpt is not great for the gun, so that's a bit of a bummer. And then we do get the ever wonderful McFarlane Toys black display stand with the Warhammer logo, which is good enough, I guess, though it seems quite small under this bulky guy. So accessory-wise, I guess 7 out of 10 is probably good enough, but nothing crazy. All right, let's do the articulation. The head is kind of a cool thing. there appears to be a single ball peg connecting the head to that inner blue disc. You see that inner blue disc? The head's connected to that on a ball peg, so it can rotate around, but then that whole thing is on some sort of ball peg, probably just a basic ball peg, which lets it move around in kind of unnatural ways, but it does allow some extra range, so that's pretty cool. By the way, I guess you could count this as an accessory. I don't know if these ever are not on there. I'm guessing he's supposed to have it on him all the time because it doesn't like look very good, but I guess you could count that if you wanted to. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and just, they do have hinges on there, which is pretty nice. It's pretty cool. No rotation or anything, but just a hinge. So there you go. All right, for the shoulders. Shoulder pad is on a ball peg. Can I pop it off? Yes. Is it single? It's a double. So the shoulder pads are on double ball pegs. So that's kind of nice. All right, and then the shoulders themselves, they pop off really easily. Mine popped off early. Oh. Okay, well, I was trying to pop off the shoulder ball because it popped off super easy earlier while I was posing him, and the other part popped off, but that's okay, I can show you. He's not super floppy, so I don't really mind that he falls apart. None of the joints have caused any posing issues for me. I mean, I'd rather tighter joints, but it is just a basic ball socket, and then this is a ball hinge, so that's fine. It's not like it's stuck or anything, it just can pop out fairly easily. But it pops right back in, so I'm not hating it. It's not like a big deal, but it is a thing. You do get your bicep swivel where you saw it popped out. It's not floppy or anything, so I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, apparently they can. That's a very tiny peg, so it doesn't take much leverage to get that out of there. But no big deal. I'm not actually mad at it because it doesn't really matter. Okay, so the double jointed elbow is actually not bad. It's hidden nicely by the elbow pad. Good range for a bulky guy, I'll take it. And then the wrists are on ball hinges. You're not going to get a huge amount of range out of those wrists. I'm just going to take some finagling, but they're in there, so that is not too bad. Let's go ahead and cover him up so that he looks cool while we're doing the rest of the video. Let's see how easy it is to pop these back on. Oh, very easy. All right, nice soft PVC for these shoulder pads. And shoulders. All right, so for the torso, he does lean back. He's got some ball pegs in here, another ball peg down here, so I'm just going to show you the range. Because of the backpack, he doesn't lean back that far. You could get more out of it if the backpack wasn't on there. Leaning forward, not counting the hip, is not great. But as you can see, it's more than most of the DC figures, so that's pretty good. Side to side, limited by the sculpt. Can't really do much about that. Full rotation, it's decent. It's a little floppier than I'd like, and obviously it's restricted because he's bulky, but not bad. For the hips, going out to the side, pouches obviously get in the way. Standard McFarlane style hips, which are not great for heavy figures. They're definitely not tight, but they're not actually floppy either, so it's okay. Going forward, these straps get in the way. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I get why they did it technically speaking, but they knew it was going to get in the way of the articulation, so they should have kind of mushed them into the sculpt more, I think. Very limited range. But you can kind of force them out of the way and then you get more range. So that's not the biggest deal in the world. Since it's not painted, it's not going to damage anything. Going back, not a whole lot of range, but you do get some, so that's okay. And then you do get a thigh swivel, which isn't too bad. So that's all right. The crotch is technically floaty, so that'll probably help with your posability a little bit. All right, for the knees, double jointed knees have decent range, not bad, better than 90 for a bulky guy like this. You might even be able to squeak out a little bit more depending on which joint you go with first. Probably not much more. Yeah, you're gonna get a little bit better than 90, so that's pretty good. I'll take it on a chungus like this. And then for the ankles, this is the thing I don't like, and I thought these were gonna be ball hinges, but they don't appear to be. Both of the ankles are cut at the wrong angle. I don't know why. The leg is here, but the cut is over here. Same thing on this side, even more obvious on this side, how off center that cut is. So the hinge is weird, but the ankles have a little bit of range, and they actually have better ratcheting than the DC figures. I almost said McFarlane figures, because it's not a heavy ratchet, so you're not going to have too much trouble. You do get an ankle rocker out of that, but the way they cut the ankle joint, it's even steeper than a bad ankle rocker, so that's a shame. Toe hinge is surprisingly sturdy, and it's in the right part of the foot, so I like that. Alright, so the articulation on this guy is pretty much what you would expect. It's going to be good enough to pose a big, bulky armor suit like this, and that's about it. So I'll give it a 7 for what it is. They did a decent enough job, and I think that's reasonable. Okay, now the last thing to do, because it's a McFarlane figure, even though it's not DC, is I had to give it a cake rating. And his cake is well hidden, but not hidden completely. And if I'm good at anything, it is finding the cake. His cake is almost non-existent. There's not a whole lot going on there, but there is some, despite the padding probably giving him a little bit of help there. There is some cake, so I'm gonna give him a 2. There's a little bit of cake in there to be found if you're really looking for it and wanting it. So, all right, time for the final verdict on this guy. For 20 bucks, it's wonderful. Great figure. You don't get $20 figures anymore, even from McFarlane in most cases. But right now, this one is 20 bucks at Big Bad Toy Store. There is a link in the description below, and you're not going to beat it for 20 bucks. Is it perfect? Not by a long shot. Is it perfectly good? Yes. Is there a lot of nice stuff going on with it? Yes, I think so. And I think if you're even interested in this design a little bit, or if you're interested in the property a lot, what the heck, for 20 bucks? Can't go wrong with that. This figure, 26 bucks. That's a heck of a difference. Wow. All right, so yeah, cool figure. Definitely a cool line to get into. If I was into 40K, I would, I almost said 20K. That's like half as good probably. If I was into 40K, then, uh-oh. Is he supposed to have this on both sides? Or is it supposed to be like that on the same side? Did I get bamboozled with parts on the ankle there? Doesn't look like it's the same sculpt, so I don't think so. No, that's a different sculpt. Anyway, yeah, really, really cool figure. I'm gonna give it an overall rating of, for 20 bucks, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. You can't complain about this for 20 bucks. It's got paint on it, it poses well, it has a nice sculpt, it has the necessary accessory, even though you can't hold it well. Holds it well enough. Like, that's gonna look good on a shelf, good enough. Like, okay, fine, 20 bucks. You win, McFarlane, on this one, definitely. So there it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, you probably should. I have new videos almost every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.